difficult because I teach math and
Math is great. There's a lot of resources out there that people have done with math.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you guys something with Zoom that's really nice. Zoom is free, by the way. I'm going to share screen with you, and I'm going to walk you through finding some of these resources just to kind of give you an idea how it can work. You do have to kind of double check. I have backed off the requirements over the last 4 times I've taught the class because I used to ask for a lot more and then it was really difficult to find. So if you're teaching math, you probably maybe, what kind of grade level?
High school algebra 2.
Okay. Calculus has really great resources, by the way. Are you on Chromebooks? Just as an aside.
I had Chromebooks when I taught at the junior high, but not at the high school. Yeah.
Okay. If you have iPads or Chromebooks, and you can get a downloadable thing too. It's either called Math.io or Equate.io on the computer, but you bring it up on the Chromebook and you hit the microphone button and you can say 2x squared plus 3x plus y equals 7, and it types it out for you in equation text. And then you click the button that says graph it, and it graphs it for you. And then you can go in and change. Yeah, I'll find what it is. It's either Math.io or Equate.io. But you can change the numbers and the parameters, and it regraphs it for you.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful. All right, just to geek out a minute there. All right, so to share this screen with you, I'm clicking the little button on the bottom that's a green box with an arrow up. And this shows you my little screen that I have right here. Zoom is a free tool. You can use this to teleconference with as many people as you want for 40 minutes. Or if you buy it, you can do as many people as you want for a long period of time. Or you can do one person for approximately, I think we've been on about 8 hours or 9 hours one time. And that was about the limit I've been on. You can use it to screen share and screen record. And I could actually even give over remote control, say to Andrew, and let him manipulate my screen through this program. So it's fantastic when you're doing help stuff with somebody and fixing their computer or whatever, just so you know. All right, so let me move my screen a little here. So I'm going to go to Google. And on Google, at the bottom, it says settings. And I am going to go to advanced search. And then it says all this nice stuff. So maybe I want to use for Algebra 2, maybe I want to do, I don't know, what topic are you finishing up right now? Wait, you're muted. Hold on. I'm unmuting you. Go ahead. Maybe I'm not. Hold on. I just put you on hold. Hold on. I don't know how to get her off of hold. This is my bad. Sorry.
Oh.
I just put her on hold and I don't know how I did that and I don't know how to take her off.
No, that's unmute.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think I just kicked her off and I'm not sure. Hold on. Take off hold. There we go. I let her back on. That was my bad. I screwed up. I clicked the button that said put you on hold and then I had to figure out how to do that. I did it by going into manage participants, so for all of you that wanted to know. I went into manage participants. Okay, so what topic would you be looking at right now?
I was saying to you, I'm on maternity leave until the end of the school year, so I'm actually not teaching anything right now. But let's say quadratics, graphing quadratics.
So if we have quadratic equations, and I realize that's really general, and we want to go down here to where it says usage rights, not filtered by any license. That will give you the widest search parameters whatsoever, but it's not going to narrow it down for us into ones that we're allowed to use. If I say free to use, share, or modify even commercially, this is the tightest parameter that it will give us by this usage rights. So we're getting Wikipedia, we're getting Lumen Learning, we're getting some images. So let's say we look at this image right here, WikiCommons. This image right here, I'm sorry. This is a free media repository, which means you can see on here that there is a CC, some rights reserved. So I can share a remix. I have to tell where I got it, and I have to also allow people to share it if I have changed this around at all. So there's a couple CC licenses on here. These are Creative Commons licenses, and most Wikimedia will have those. Most Wikipedia has it because it's an open source, and that's where you can get some of this information. So I could take this picture, I can change it, and I can use it without any problem. And I would just have to cite those. So if I wanted to use this, I would, and I don't know how much it's going to give you, so you can see on here. I would copy image location. I would go to my Padlet, which will be in my class. Let's see, here's a Padlet on copyright. I would double click on it. Sorry, it's spinning. Double click on it, it's going to allow me to open up a tab, and I would write quadratic equation. Hold on, I've done all kinds of bad things to my screen with you guys watching, of course. See, we're learning together. I would type quadratic equations, and then I would click down on here on one of these little tabs. Doesn't really matter. And I'm going to either click this, and it'll put it in here. And where it says write something, I could say CC share alike, and then put my URL. And that is how you can use this. And I can delete it. And that would be the picture that I put in there. I put it on here. I would have my URL. Because it's linked through that, I can leave it on here as this. It gives you a little bit of a break. I'm looking for my delete button. I might have to go back in and delete it in a minute here. It's not giving me the option to delete it from that. But that's how you would do that. And you're going to find these different resources. You know, a couple different types of resources. Think of it as like an example that you would have somebody build, or as an example you would have somebody build, or you could think of it as something you would give someone a bunch of resources for. Because this could be a collaborative activity where me and my class, we're all finding resources on quadratic equations and how they're used in real life. So maybe you have your students finding pictures of that all over the web and dropping them in, or finding pictures in real life and dropping them on. So that all works. You can also go to find your resources, you can go to Creative Commons. Search. And this allows you to, maybe that's what I'm doing for this. I want to be able to do one of these things, and I want to find information on it. Okay, so here's a how-to. So if I go to this web page and I go the whole way to the bottom, that's typically where you have to go. It says some rights reserved, and you should be able to see on there it says Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 4.0. So that means that this is a share alike post that I can use. Other ones will say, let's say we're using this one, whatever it happens to be. I go the whole way to the bottom. This is a Creative Commons attribution. It's not a share alike, so it is a slightly different license. Usually I can find a copyright one or one that you can't use really easily, and I'm not having that luck tonight. And here's another Creative Commons one, share alike. So you can see that occasionally you'll hit the bonus load and you're going to be able to find a lot of resources. And sometimes you have to do a lot of very painstaking searching to do this. Okay. Any other questions that you happen to have? looking through the class, what do you think so far? Hi, Sarah.
Hi, I have a question about the lesson.
Okay.
How does the lesson correlate with our Padlet?
Okay. So every week you're going to do a lesson idea. You do not have to flesh out like a full plan or anything like that. I want you to think about the context you're putting it in, basically what your overall objective is, and how this is being used to support the learning. So for the Padlet, I would incorporate it in your lesson as one of two things. You could use it as, you know, my students will be doing this, and here's an example of what they will be doing. I'm modeling the behavior for them. Or it could be, here's a set of resources that my students or my learners, whichever context, you know, work or whatever, are going to be using to complete this project. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just like I teach second grade, so I'm trying to think of how I can incorporate it in my classroom.
Okay, so your second grade students can do some easy reading. They can do a lot of pictures. They can do some games.
Okay.
So maybe you want to be working on two-digit multiplication or two-digit addition. I can't remember what second grade does. So maybe you're adding 2 digits. So you're going to find some online resources that your students might want to use for that, and you would be able to give them a computer or an iPad or something. They could go to your Padlet, and there are the links already set there for them, so they're not looking all over the place trying to do that.
Okay.
Or you could do it for your parents, or you could do it for people that you're going to be training in your, like if you have a parapro and you're going to be training them and you have some information you need to give them, or introducing your parents to next year, or a training for your colleagues. You can make it fit any context that you think fits best.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Hi,
I
Jamie.
have a question. Hi. Since I'm not currently teaching, how do I taught kindergarten for 7 years. Now I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. Do I just kind of pick a level to do lessons for?
Okay, so you could do it for, you know, let's say you're a soccer coach. You want to do soccer coaching? Fine. You do Girl Scouts every week? You want to do Girl Scout lessons? That's fine with me too. You teach Bible school? You can use it for that. You want to go back to the workforce in another year? When you're finished with your master's, you want to go back to the workforce and you'd like to teach 4th grade so that you can come up with lessons for 4th grade. I am fine with any context that you select.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. And for those of you that are in the work world, think of it really broadly too. You know, I have to do a training for the new interns that we're onboarding this summer. I have to do a training for a group of people coming in to learn to use this piece of equipment. Anything like that, that you can make it work. And like I said, if you're not working and you don't know where you're going to be, you know, make something up and use that in a way that you think will be beneficial to you, because you can always use it as a portfolio for being hired back, or, you know, for the job that you want to have later. Anyone else? Okay, so the 3 of you, I'm sorry, those of you that are here have completed your requirement for coming to an online class, just to see how you can use this for collaboration purposes. You are welcome to come back in 2 weeks, and again in 4 weeks. 2, 4, 6, I run a class at 7 o'clock, hopefully on time. For this course, you're welcome at any time. During week 8, I'll run one at oddball time for people that have like only work at night and that kind of thing, so they can see this. You're welcome at any time, and I also have open office hours on Tuesday nights at 8. Okay. Any questions then? All right, to get out of here, most of you will have on the bottom of your screen a little red set of words that says leave the meeting. And you can click on that and you go bye-bye. And if you want to talk to me privately, you can stick around. I'll be on for a few more minutes before my next class. Otherwise, I can see you on Tuesday night, or you can just email me and we'll set up a time on our own. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys all coming tonight, especially since I was a little late and it was really fast.